Hey there, it's Baje. I'm back. So today I'm talking about why are you not successful now? Which, by the way, is the title of my new book, which I'm releasing real soon, so look out for it. Even though success to each person widely varies, there are a few ways that we all can, become more successful, whatever your goal is. And without even knowing you, I know some things about you if you aren't successful yet, or if you aren't where you need to be. Like, for one, you may not have a goal to be successful. Believe it or not, a lot of people say, I want to be successful when you ask them what they want out of life. But if you ask them to break down their definition of success, they can't. So that's the biggest thing. You need to get real clear about your goal. That's number one. And number two, you need to have it on paper or at least on a goal board, like so. It's something that happens when you put a pen to paper. It's like magic. It's like telling the universe to bring all that stuff to you. So you have to put it down on paper and make it real, and then create a goal board and place it somewhere where you can see it daily. So even if you weren't paying attention to it consciously, like your subconscious will pick up on the pictures and the way those images make you feel, and subconsciously you'll work towards it. You just need to see it in plain view every day. Another thing that hinders people from being successful is they don't have a to-do list. I walk around with this book religiously. And every year I kind of create a new one, but it's just full of goals and things I need to do, especially like my daily to-do list, because it's easy to get sidetracked if you don't, well, it's easy for me to get sidetracked if I don't really have a list in front of me, and I'm sure a list will keep you on track too. So write down not only your goals, your long-term goals, short-term goals, but what you need to do on a daily basis, because sometimes life throws you curveballs and kind of knock you off track. And if you don't really have your goals and the things you need to do on paper, it's really easy to get lost. So you have to write down your goals and have a daily to-do list to stay on track. Another thing, if you aren't successful, what you probably aren't doing is reading. And not just reading fantasy books. You have to make a habit to read self-help books for leisure. This is one of the greats. How to Win Friends and Influence People. And which brings me to another point. Something that may be hindering you from being successful is you. Like, you need to get out of your own way, like fix your attitude. I used to have a really horrible attitude. I like to think that I've worked on that these last few years. But no, I consciously worked on my attitude and just my perspective about life and people in general. For years, I just walked around expecting the worst out of people, and that's kind of what I got. So I started changing the way I thought about the world and people in general. And it really changed me. So work on your attitude, and this book is a great one, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It helped me a lot. I'm sure it will help you as well. Another thing you probably don't have is mentors. Very few people become successful without having mentors. You don't have to know that person personally, but maybe watching videos of their interviews or reading books that they wrote, or reading their interviews in newspapers or magazines. It can really provide a blueprint for you. So find a mentor. If you can't get to them or get to the specific people you want to, I'm sure they've written books or have a website, or you can read their bio or something of that. You also need to have accountability partners. 2 is good. Just people who know what your goals are, who keep you on track. Maybe you guys can talk twice a day. In the morning to let them know what you want to accomplish that day, and in the evening to let them know if you accomplished it. Okay. You need to clean your surroundings up. And I'm just not talking about spring cleaning your apartment. I'm talking about weeding out those negative people out of your life. And unfortunately, sometimes they're family. Unfortunately, it's the people who are closest to you that have the most influence over you, whether you realize it or not. People say blood is thicker than water. I don't believe that crap. Because if your family will put you down and abuse you and neglect you and all that stuff, you don't need to be around them. You can create your own family, and you can find positive friends, like-minded friends who are supportive. So start doing that spring cleaning of people. So it doesn't matter how much you work on your personal habits and attitude, if you're surrounded by these dark, negative people, then it's like you're walking backwards. I get so excited about this success talk. I have a few more things on why people aren't successful. Of course, all of them are in my book. This is just a manuscript, but it's like 320 pages of knowledge that I've worked my butt off to bring to you all. It's stuff I've learned through trial and error, through my mentors, through the books I've read, and I guarantee it will help you. My heart went into this. I want to see you succeed. It's enough money out here for all of us. Which brings me to October 1st. I'm having my next Design Your Life workshop here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Buckhead at the Grand Hyatt on Peachtree. And I'm just so excited to share with you all what I've learned these last years, you know. Like, I came from humble beginnings, was raised in Jamaica. We didn't really have much. I ended up in foster care for a few years. By 19, my mom passed away, so I really had to make my own way in this world. And I'm proud of me because I haven't had to work for, you know, anyone in the last 10 years. And the first maybe 4 or so years of that was modeling and acting, which I just took the risk to step out on faith and pursue my passion, and that worked well. I ended up meeting one of my mentors, James Cannon. He happens to be Nick Cannon's father, and he encouraged me to write, you know, a book that I had in my mind for about a year at the time, and I wrote it, and it became a bestseller. Some of you may have read it, A Gold Digger's Guide, How to Get What You Want Without Giving It Up, and that's GOAL. So that put me on the path of residual income, you know. So for the last 6 or so years, I haven't had to work at all. And for me, that's beyond a blessing. So button popping open. So I really don't mind sharing all that with you all. So you have to invest in yourself. Just make it to the workshop. For the first time ever, I am having early bird specials. So go to my website, thegoalgroupinc.com, GOALINC.com. So you can be successful, but you have to take the first step, and it's not gonna happen overnight, but I guarantee you, if you come to my workshop, you'll leave inspired, and you'll leave with enough information to get you on the right track. So I don't know what else to tell y'all. Besides, you don't have to work, you know, your life away. Life isn't meant to work just to pay bills. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So your life can change. Your life can change. One of the biggest things I've learned from the rich and successful is that working is the worst way to make money. And I know that is mind-blowing. It blew my mind the first time I heard it. Like, what do you mean? Working is the worst way to make money. Like, you got to work to live. No, you don't. No, you don't. There's 3 ways that the rich and successful become rich and successful, and they're not working for it. And I'll let you all know what they are October 1st. So see you all there. And as always, if you need life coaching, I'm at ilovebaje@gmail.com. ilovebage@gmail.com. Holla!